Here's the rookie from Alabama, Will Reichard, ready to get us started.
And off we go from Seattle.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Commanding the offense will be the highly touted USC product, Sam Darnold.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
Darnold going to throw right away. A throw left side, reeled in by the rookie wideout.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
And they'll run. It's Ken Walker.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5.
Faking the give, Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw, Darnold. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by a guy certainly still trying to prove himself here in the league, the young rookie quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Complete. Jefferson to target.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota.
And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Here's Darnold. And that'll be incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Darnold. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
On play action, McCarthy. And that nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it doesn't take any great analysis. No jokes, partner, okay? All right, on this one. But we just know that we're going to see this as the game moves forward. There's going to be 2 guys on him at just about every snap.
It's kind of a dare to throw his way, but they have to keep throwing his way.
The benefits could be great. You throw it to a great receiver, he could come down with it anyway.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
That sack, it goes to Boye Mafe.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Here's Walker to start the drive.
And some strong running.
He's still on his feet.
And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line.
59 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
So all the way down close to the goal line. Good blocking up front. Helped to spring him.
When this drive is over, he's got to get to the bench and sing kumbaya with the offensive line, doesn't he? Big-time openings for him. Gets him all the way down to the 2-yard line. Let's see if they can pound it in.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. A play fake, and it's Darnold. That's to the pylon and incomplete.
And down here, 1st and goal, if it's not there, don't force it. You've got at least 2, if not 3 more shots at it. So that's a wise move to get rid of it.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Charbonnet is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I thought they were onto something with their play call and kind of went in reverse a little bit. Threw it on 1st down, then ran it on 2nd down. Not successful either way. What play call do they come up with here on this important 3rd down try?
Now Darnold on 3rd and goal.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers.
From the right hash, and this one just a chippy.
Myers' kick is good.
And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They'll start out on the ground with Jones.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
2nd down, another shot for Jones.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. On play action, now McCarthy. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory.
Darnold now to throw.
And Walker with it over the middle.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. How about Jonathan Allen there, pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line?
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Play action. It's Darnold. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Here's Darnold.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That'll bring up fourth down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10.
They'll go play action. Here's McCarthy. Open man downfield. It's Naylor.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 34.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now 2nd and 3. McCarthy off the play fake.
That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And the slot man goes in motion left.
He's going to get it on the jet sweep.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Throwing is McCarthy.
That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now we will get another look at Seattle's offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Darnold.
Throwing the out route, and he connects with Fant.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
It's the first catch of the game for Kupp, and he's got a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now it's Darnold.
This is Fant on the short completion. These two teams all tied after one. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 4.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold.
Going right back to Fant.
Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 42.
11 yards for number 11.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off of play action, Darnold. Throw left side, complete to Kupp.
Just a gain of a couple there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Straight ahead, Walker. And he's taken down inside the 30. 67 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz. And the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. To throw is Darnold. Under pressure, they got him again. Javon Hargrave. He's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks.
The drive had started well after a punt last time. Now it's slowed down a bit, and let's face it, they don't want to punt the ball in back-to-back series. They want a sustained drive on this one.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Back to throw here.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half. Unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
And they'll play keep away from the returner, as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
2nd down and 8. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And this will be incomplete.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies are trying to force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's McCarthy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
The give is to Jones. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. To the air with McCarthy. Finds his man. There's Jordan Addison. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
This is all about finding the open space in the middle of the field. How do you do that? One way is through play action. That's going to freeze those linebackers for just a split second, and sometimes that's all you need. They run a deep in route behind them, and it works to perfection.
A give to Jones.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's 2nd and 10.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
3rd down from the gun, McCarthy. That is caught. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Looking to throw, McCarthy.
And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Aaron Jones
From 6 yards away. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
Just a lone field goal for him so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10.
Faking the give, Darnold. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick 1st down.
Here's Darnold. He finds his man, complete. That's Horton. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other, a gain of 6.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
Running left is Walker.
Able to power through. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
75 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A play fake, and it's Darnold. He finds his man, complete. That's Horton. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 15 yards there for number 15.
Oh, I like that play call there. After a run for good yardage, you get a defense thinking they'll go back to the well. So that's a great time to call play action and give your receivers a little extra edge. And they complete the pass there for another first down.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
2nd and 5.
Back to throw, Darnold. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And the Seahawks are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and off the play action, he'll look to throw it.
A big loss there of about 7 yards on 1st and goal, so now it's 2nd down.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Darnold. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Darnold now to throw.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A big play, but still not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. The offense is going to stay out there. We'll see what the play call is. They need to find the right one here on 4th and goal.
They'll run for it. It's Walker.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown.
It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. A 10-play drive that time.
And it was Kenneth Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. Now McCarthy.
The left side completion to Jones. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
McCarthy operating from the gun. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
2nd and 10.
Looking to throw.
McCarthy going underneath. He's got Hockenson.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. To the air again, McCarthy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 32-yard line. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Throwing is McCarthy.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
2nd and 10. We're all knotted up at 10, but it appears that may change soon. Only question is, will they have to settle for 3?
Again, he'll drop to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down.
Throwing again, McCarthy. Open man is Naylor. He's got it.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 20-yard line. They'll look to throw again.
That's to Naylor once again.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Second down and 3.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Sticking with the pass, here's McCarthy.
And he'll just get rid of it.
So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And his kick here is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
A final shot before the break. Darnold.
And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
In that first half, it was the veteran Aaron Jones who had it going. He had 3 catches in that opening part of the game and wound up with a touchdown reception as well.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Now the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. That one complete to Naylor.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 32 on the play.
It doesn't look like this defense found the magic elixir at halftime. This offense was rolling in the first half, and that's continued here in the third quarter. Another big play right there.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Here's McCarthy. Over the middle and complete to Addison.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Up the middle, Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
And here's Jones again on 2nd down.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. To the air with McCarthy.
Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he is stopped just short on third down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
And this one is right through. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Seahawks offense and Kenneth Walker set to take over once more. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same, because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone. And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Here's Darnold. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Darnold. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Shifts by him at the 25. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense and J.J. McCarthy getting ready to go back to work. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now 2nd and 9. Looking to throw McCarthy. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw. McCarthy. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line.
The Seahawks offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and made him a real weapon in the passing game.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
115 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. A play fake, and it's Darnold.
Finding Smith and Jigba downfield.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
No receivers open, so he was forced to put that one into Puget Sound. That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers, and ultimately a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback, so that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Darnold to throw again. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Walker will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Charbonnet. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So backed up to the 6 now. 3rd and goal. Now it's Darnold. And it's caught. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Myers' kick is good. And the lead is back down to 3 here at 16-13.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Big Leonard Williams, the one who came in and got him.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen, and I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque there.
I just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of people said, hey, that's too much, too far, and maybe it is early, but I think this guy has a chance of fulfilling that.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now 3rd down and 7.
Operating from the gun, McCarthy.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. A big play there for Minnesota. 42 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. Running right, Jones. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place.
But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And the Vikings are going to have it 1st and goal as he'll take this down to about the 3.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Now they'll put a receiver in motion left.
And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
So it's a quarter that saw these two teams trade field goals here as we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Slot man moves right.
He'll get it here on the jet sweep.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
This Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation. Now McCarthy.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to swell the lead to 6. And his kick is good.
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The home team's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2nd and 10. Up the middle, here's Walker.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Darnold now to throw. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Now here's Michael Dixon as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This will be fielded at the 17. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And now out comes Minnesota. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
And it's nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
Just because you've got the lead in the 4th, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. McCarthy.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hope they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
Stiff-armed him. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Walker with another carry.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This will be 3rd and forever. Now they nab the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Over the middle, finding Smith and Jigba.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
The Vikings head out to take over once again. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. There go play action. Here's McCarthy.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Well, every lineman knows the rule. You only get a 1-yard buffer beyond that line of scrimmage, and then the flag is thrown, and he got tagged for it there. Throwing is McCarthy.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. They get the penalty yardage back, plus 5 more as they get it to 2nd and 5. Back to throw.
McCarthy. That's over the middle. He finds Naylor.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs. And they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
Open man is Naylor. He's got it.
And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to go out extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 38-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
An inside give to Jones.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
2nd down, another shot for Jones.
Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will make this a 9-point lead.
So that's, CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold.
On the slant, here's Smith and Jigba.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Over the middle, complete. It's Walker. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. Touchdown, Seahawks! From 19 yards away.
And the Seahawks have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
So they get the score, partner. Game's not over, but they still need some help here.
Agreed, they definitely need some help, but they took care of the first part by scoring themselves.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead is down to 2. That time a 6-play drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Vikings offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Again, it's Jones.
And he will have a Viking 1st down, and that should be the one that gets him to the finish line.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Here's a give to Jones running left. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter. Do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that. Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Seattle, so long, everybody.